Cool. Okay, I see the recording started, so we can get going. So thank you everyone for joining today. It's obviously exciting for us. We don't often have webinars, so it's really great to see that you've all joined and coming to the session today. Obviously, the session is just Sage 300 and Peresoft Cashbook, and obviously the new world of where we're going, which is extremely exciting and extremely helpful to have this new tools that have been given to us to create what we want to do now. And I think, let's be honest, the first thing everybody talks about now is AI and how it's going to make us clever. And I don't think it's like that. I think it's the other way around. I think we give AI the information that it needs and we make AI cleverer. And then, of course, it then gives us more information that we could ever need. So let's have a look at this, the AI scenario, which I don't want to talk about too much because AI has made all of us incredibly intelligent and has given us a huge advantage in the industry that we're in. It doesn't take away things from us because the layman out there that doesn't do computers doesn't really understand how to use AI to its max. Where we're in the computer business, we're in the idea business, we can feed AI our own information, our own ideas, and we are rich with ideas. Let's be honest. I mean, I was going to retire and stop working, which was a bit of a tragedy for myself because I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm not a very good golfer, so I didn't want to disappear off the market. And that I'm actually a lousy golfer, but that's a separate issue, and AI doesn't help me on the golf course. But when I got hold of AI a few months ago and started doing a few developments with AI, I realized, and so did all my developers at Peresoft realized, that we've got now another tool that we can use that will save us the exhausting time of writing code and create the code we can then look at and debug with AI and create projects and ideas and all the extra bits that we want to do that can enhance our product. The most important part of our product is that we've already written the product. The product's actually done, and we didn't use AI for any of it. So it's come through the days of strength and debugging and cleaning and enhancing, all from human intelligence, not artificial intelligence. And that's what makes our product so strong, is that the human intelligence that we use is obviously got all these ideas that come from our brain and not from a computer. And those ideas, you could only give it to the computer, it will then remember and then enhance on that for us. So we have an incredibly powerful future for our industry. We have now taken our product, which we've got installed at thousands of clients, by the way. And now we can take that product and even enhance it more and give the client a better feeling of how the product works, how we're going, where we're going. And we don't have to waste our time trying to develop the basics. So the basics are there, and we are now in a position to take that product, which is Sage 300 and Peresoft Cashbook, and just get it to work even better in the environment of the client. The one thing I've noticed with Peresoft and with the Cashbook is that we've added so many new features and ideas that we need to give help to you, the dealer, to understand these new features and to put them into the client's web, into the client's systems easily and with as much help as possible. So what we focused on with the AI at the moment is not necessarily adding the code, because we know that you've still got to catch up with what we've already got in the system, but enhanced it to create better help, quicker online invoicing, and a better way of just doing the whole process, and a much more efficient way of doing the whole process. I mean, you guys have really got the knowledge. I mean, I look at the list here of people that was on this call, and we all go back years. I mean, I'm not trying to say we're old or young or whatever, but if you were to add the knowledge we have together over Sage 300, you're talking like 1,500 years of knowledge. That's irreplaceable. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just incredible. The base we have selling our product and making it a better product is just huge. Okay, gee, that was a loud noise. Anyway, the point is, we are now in a position that we have never been in before. We're in a position that is untouchable. It really is. It's just amazing. And I was speaking to Brian the other day, and well, yesterday actually, and we were talking about how he gives his AI a project to do. He goes to bed, he wakes up in the morning, the project's done. I mean, really, that is such a pleasure. We've got now a tool that we can use that is never tiring. It never stops. It never stops producing, creating, etc. So with a base of the 300 we have, it's incredibly difficult to try and convince a person trying to give you a new product. And you say to them, but listen, you're saying to them, listen, sorry, just go on mute, please. Okay. The point is, we've got a product already that we've already given the client that's already clean and works like a dream.
All right, Sam, can you please mute the people for me? I can't.
After that,
Okay, I'm just muting people. Sorry, I'm just quickly muting. Okay. Cool. Okay, let me get back to where I was. So let's be honest, we've got a client base at the moment that's sitting with on Sage 300, and we're getting told, no, you've got to go to cloud, you've got to go to this, you've got to go to that. The problem we have with that is we're sitting with a client base where the clients are working on their systems and they're working at a 98% level or 95% level. Obviously, at last 5%, we can now fill using AI, which is a very small percentage to get our client to be perfectly happy in their environment. Why would we want to now go to another system that might only give them 85% of their features that we've already got, and they're going to look at us and say, I need to do, for example, a prepaid. And you say, oh, well, we don't have that in this new system. And they say, but every day we just did prepaids. You can't do that. You've got to stick with what you have and know what you've got. Otherwise, you're going to get a neuroses and a problem out there. And you're going to end up with issues with the client, and you don't really want to do that. Obviously, they want to go cloud. We've been selling a lot of web UIs. And I've noticed on the ecosystem, on the WhatsApp ecosystem, a lot of people are having one or two issues with installing it. But once it's running, I haven't seen many issues of what's gone wrong. The other thing I've noticed on the ecosystem is that people aren't using AI enough to ask more questions and to actually post them on the system as a solution. So we need to build up some kind of knowledge base on the web UIs to actually give them more problem solving questions and answers. I haven't actually spoken to JT about that, but I think we should approach him on that and say, can you give us a proper knowledge base that gives us all the ups and downs of installing, running, and getting all these funny error messages? Cannot create this, can unable to load, all these funny questions that are very difficult for us to actually debug. Okay, but ask AI, get involved, use it more, etc. Because I promise you, we know this. I'm talking to people that already know this, but I'm just going to repeat. It really does take us to a different level in the industry. Okay. It was quite funny when I was writing an SQL query. I really thought I knew SQL. I thought I was quite a brainy on SQL. And then I went and said to AI, write my query in SQL. And he came with this whole complicated query that really did the same job as what I would have done. But wow, I learned a whole bunch of stuff. And I realized it's just so nice to know a product or something give us the knowledge that I would have to have read the whole manual to have attained that level. Okay, enough of that. Okay, enough of the rant and the rave. And I think we can only say that we're in a very strong position and we're looking very good. So just to give you a quick summary of what's happening today, we're going to take you through our new website. We've obviously, and Natalie has rewritten the website. Okay, and we're not going to say how because obvious. And we've tried to add as many features in the website now to help you to be able to get certain new like invoices, generate product without having to get hold of Samantha and have to wait for the weekday to get something. You can now generate these same things after hours whenever you want. And we've put that into the new website, okay? We've also got a few extra features we've added to Cashbook that we're going to release in our PU. Okay, and the same with Rec Express and EFT Express. Okay, and then Wayne's also going to show us the help bot that he's created. We created our own help bot. We don't use an AI based, we do use AI based, of course, but we've created the knowledge base ourselves from all the knowledge, all the questions you've given us, which is a fantastic thing to do because we've had a forum running for years. So we've been able to feed all that information into our knowledge bases and then put an AI front end that will then help you. And he's going to show you how many, I think hundreds of questions are already answered. And the more you ask, the more the help bot gets the information and the more we build up the actual help. And we've actually put that as well into the web UIs as well. Okay, just one more thing I want to mention, and that is we're also going to have a new licensing program coming out. Because of AI, we've had issues with people decrypting or whatever you want to call it, our licenses. And we just want to make sure that the licenses are not being abused and people aren't copying the files everywhere and not actually using the license correctly. The new licensing program will come in now with the hotfix, where you'll have to refetch your licenses using, the licensing program within Cashbook itself. It's a quick fetch, it updates the license, and then you can carry on working. So that will be part of the PU as well. If you want more information on that, you're welcome to ask on the forum, and we'll happily feed that back to you without a problem. Okay, anyway, that's enough of me, enough of what I've been ranting and raving about. And I think it's very nice to know that we are fully into 300, fully into the product, and really looking at it many, many years of using Sage 300 in the world. Great. Natalie, I think it's your turn. I think you want to go through the website.
Yes.
And okay, please, just one more thing before you start. People, please ask questions. Don't hesitate. Just ask questions. This is an open forum. It's a webinar, but it's also open. We're not in the same room, but we are in the same environment, so you can ask questions at any time, and we'll try and help and see if we can answer you. Thank you very much, Nat. Go for it.
Thank you so much, Bob. Okay, so today I'm just going to be covering, what is actually new on the website. Not just a fresh design. We've taken the self-service of the website to another level, where, as Bob said, you won't have to depend on us replying to your emails. You can just go ahead and generate your own product for your client as long as they are current. You can create your own invoices, quotes, orders, email them to yourselves, to your clients, do everything that you would usually ask Samantha to do. You are now able to do it on your own without having to wait around at all. So let me just go here to the website. Okay, so when you now log into the new website, the first place you'll be directed to is your dashboard. We created the dashboard because we thought, we need somewhere where everything that you'd want to see in one go is now in one place. If you're unsure about how to use the dashboard, you just have to select the how it works. And we have a very simple step-by-step guide on, how everything works, how you can customize it, etc. What was recently added is now Bob said, Nat, these widgets, they look a bit thin or they look a bit too wide. You can now choose whether or not you want it wide or you want it thin. You'll be able to see if there are unread forum messages. And one of our great things is the quick action area. Now, the quick action area is where you'll be able to very quickly visit all the places that you would want to for your self-service. So, for instance, generate an activation, generate a quote, resend invoice. If you want to very quickly speak to the new Peresoft Help Assistant, just select here and you can chat to it and ask any questions. Wayne, of course, is going to go through that. Okay, you can also very quickly place a subscription order, place an MCD, etc. Okay, to customize the dashboard, it's quite cool. You just go cool, select customize, and then you can drag and drop where you want all these widgets to sit. And you can also add and remove existing widgets. Okay, so let's go straight to generating an activation. Below, you will see a lookup table of all your clients that you have available. course, I have admin access, so there's quite a few clients there for me. You won't see the status, but you will see the version drop down, and you will have the lookup table. Let me visit our own little demo client here. So what you would do is you would either enter the client ID or, as I said, use the lookup table below. You then select go. Okay, when it's on all, it will show you all available products and what's been generated for this client. So what we've allowed is for any versions below the active version, you can manually generate. So you can't generate product that doesn't exist. You can only generate activations for products that do exist, but lower versions. Okay, so what you would do is, let's say, for Peresoft software and support, I want to generate product for 7.2. Oh, sorry, this is not the right client. Let me go to the right client. Okay, cool. There we go. So Peresoft Cape. Okay, I want to generate for version 7.2a because they don't have these two products, and I need to now generate them and activate them for them. So all you would do is go to this client and you'd select generate. It will then do a little pop-up. Do you want to generate? And you would say, okay. And there you go. It will tell you activation prepared, new serial, and it will tell you to now go and obtain licenses from Peresoft. Very simple. If you're stuck, there is, of course, a solution sheet that we've made available. So if I just search generate, and of course, we have quite a few things that we now generate, but here you go, generate activation. And we've created a full guide on how to do it step by step, what is possible, etc. Okay, here you can also, in that screen, if the count for your client needs to be reset, you can also apply to reset your activation. So to request a reactivation, you give in all your necessary info, you give the reason as to why you need it reset, give us a digital signature, and submit request, and Samantha will then do your reset if your reason is good enough, of course. Okay. What's next in the website is, which I did show previously, was the format finder. But what is also included is not just the analyze option anymore. Here is also where you will submit for a new format. Okay, so if you have a new format request, you would go to the bank format finder, select submit, and then fill in all the necessary fields. This would include uploading all your sample files, your license activation screenshot, etc. As soon as you send it, our bank formats team will then get hold of it, and they will come back to you as soon as they've reviewed all the files and checked if if your client is current, and if you are able to get a format, or if we need to quote you. So that is the next element on the website. Okay, let me move the share screen. It's always in the way. Okay. Then we also have invoicing. Now, what we wanted to do was alleviate Sam, because she was sending, it was hundreds of invoices a week, and also give you the ability to do it yourselves, because having to wait for an invoice can be detrimental to getting the sale done or getting the SA in. So we've improved it. We've removed the bugs and the issues, and now invoicing should be a breeze. Okay, so of course, to create a quote for your software assurance, you would go ahead and put in your client ID that you want to quote for. Okay, there we go. Not Peresoft Cape. This one I need to use the 0. Okay, so I'm going to search. Now it will bring up the client with all the products. This is a demo. So please excuse all the product that's been activated for this client. You would then say, okay, cool. I want a get software assurance quotation. You select from the drop down how many months you want to get a quote for, and you just select get software assurance quotation. And there you go. Don't you love that we are actually owed money as a demo company, but that's great. And then you would request your renewal invoice. Again, if you need any assistance with this, we have a solution guide, um, which will take you through every single step for requesting invoices, requesting quotations, etc. Okay, once you have then requested the renewal, you can then go straight to the invoice, and there you can see the invoice. You can change it whether you want it to be invoiced to the client, or if you want it to be invoiced to the dealer. And furthermore, you can then update the quote after selecting, to invoice dealer, and you can email it to whoever necessary. Sam, if there's anything I've missed, please let me know. Okay. You can then also get the PDF version and save it straight from here, or you can email the PDF version to the email addresses that are attached to this client.
Sorry, just one thing, Natalie. You can also select which products you want to renew in the
Yes,
invoice and remove certain products. So just from that checkbox on the right, just scroll down a bit. At
yes.
the bottom, you've got a checkbox there, and you can say, I don't want the web UIs, or I don't want the users, etc. And you can
And then you
choose
would
a few
select
less. Yeah,
and you would select update quote, and then it will update it without that.
perfect. Cool. Great.
Great.
Fantastic.
Um, I'm just trying to think. What we've really tried our best to do is to create solution sheets for all of these new elements on the website to ensure that, you don't feel like you're just going through the website blind. So um, do explore here. If you go to resources and solution center, you can see all the available solution sheets. This includes how to register to the website, how to manage your user profile for the website. And then, of course, it also includes product related solutions. And I think that the last solution sheet I just want to show you is, I'm just going to search, I'm not going to try and scroll. Order, here we go. So we do have a solution sheet on exactly how to place an MCD or subscription order. Um, all of these resources are publicly available. And also, I do believe that Sam does email everyone when they have requests. She does email everyone with links to their specific requests. Okay. And yeah, that's it. I think it's very nice for Peresoft to have a new modern look, um, and to have a bit of an upgrade. I think lastly, what we've also made available is brand new brochures that you can look there from the home page. You just go and select brochures, and you can see per product, there's brand new brochures that you can then download, give to your clients, etc. Okay. If there's anything
Excellent.
else,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
excellent job, Nat. I tell you what, you've done a great job to add a bit of youth to my company, hey. And it's also like it's there's no bottleneck anymore with poor old Sam. You can be on the weekend at the client, you can give them their quote straight away. It's
Mhm.
instantaneous. Great job. Thank you everyone for the compliments, because Natalie's done a lot of work on this. Natalie's having a baby in a month, so she had
Again.
a time limit on this. So we are producing here, not just software.
I'm not just building websites, I'm building humans too.
No, you're building humans. Okay.
AI has
Not
nothing on me.
nothing. Can't create like you. It's wonderful. And it's so nice to see what you've done here. And it just makes Sam's job a lot easier and your job a lot easier. And we love suggestions, by the way. We can't build we can't just do things without people's feedback and more information. It's something that you can only get from humans. You can't get it from you get a bit from AI, but the human ideas, the human are irreplaceable, are the best.
Oh,
Well
exactly.
done,
I mean,
Natalie.
otherwise you end up in
Yeah.
an AI echo chamber, and we all know how AI hallucinates and makes things up, and
I
so
think,
human
yeah.
input's very important.
I mean, the arrogance of AI is irreplaceable, let's be honest. It's just incredible how clever it is, and it thinks it's even cleverer than you, but it's not really. does a great job at showing you that you're not very clever, but it also doesn't do a great job in actually doing things perfectly all the time. It's really step by step. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we're getting
Wonderful.
some suggestions, and we got one from Emerson, I think. Or where do I see it, Natalie? The
In
questions
the chat.
in the chat here. Just let me go there. Okay. Added a real meeting notes to the meetings. Type read stop to disable, opt out to delete. Okay, that's something
It's an
else.
AI.
Looking good. May you please bring the WebUI download next to the Cashbook version download, same screen. Okay, we can look at doing that, Emerson. That's a good idea. Hey, what do you think, Nat?
Yes, I'm not. I'll read the
Mm.
question and then figure out exactly what you're referring to. I'm assuming you mean in the downloads option. Um, yeah. Is this what you are referring to, Emerson?
You can
Because
come
it
off
is
mute
right
and talk.
below.
You're welcome to talk. We like to hear you because we do have the WebUIs here and the Peresoft products together.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anything else? No. Oh, sorry.
Any
Did put
suggestions?
thanks,
Yeah.
Alex, for the comment. Thank you. It is very nice, I must say. Really is. We really are jacking up our systems. You know, we've
Yes,
also, sorry, go for it.
mm, I think what's important to also mention is what we've added to the forum is, I know that you first get to speak to the bot, which is very important, and Wayne's going to talk about the bot now. Um, and when you actually do, if you need to still post, which we hope that you don't, if you need to still post, you can now add images, you can create lists, links, you can also send attachments to us privately. If you look on the left of the screen here, on the right, sorry, on the right of the screen, it gives you a step-by-step guide of anything that you need. But you can drag and drop images, which I think has been a real big help for our support team to be able to get images instantly in our forum messages. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I forgot to mention that.
Brilliant, Nat. Brilliant. Excellent. Okay. Um, cool. Wayne, you want to just show? Okay, Wayne's done the. Can we go on, Natalie? Should we move on? Yeah.
Go for it.
Right.
Go for it.
Yeah. So what we've got now, Wayne. We've got Wayne and Creed as our chief developers in the company. So we basically put as much as we can into Cashbook, and we're waiting for you all to catch up now with what we've added, which Garita will show as well a few more features. But in the meantime, Wayne and Garita went through the forum, knowing with their expertise. They could then look at all the questions that have been asked for the last 20 years and break it all down. And they did that nicely. And they then put all those questions into the help bot as a standard. And then we obviously now feeding the help bot. So let me let Wayne take over from there. And he's now developed our own help bot. Go for it, Wayne.
Right, thanks, Bob. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I think the last webinar we did, I did show you the bot as it was released then, which was mainly a forum bot. And at that point, it had been trained with, like Bob said, all the last 20 years of forum questions, etc., with answers into it. And it's an ongoing process. So we are constantly following up, reading questions, adding to it, feeding it, correcting it. What I'd like to show you now is that we've now added this bot to the end user level, and it will be available in the next PUs for 26, 25, and 24 versions in our web screens only to begin with. And the difference between the bot that we make available to the end user via the web screens is that this bot will answer questions only from the existing Peresoft Cashbook documentation and help, not from the forum, which is slightly more technical. So I think I'll just quickly share my screen and just show you how it'll look in one of our web screens. So I'm logged into Sage here, and if I go and open batch entry, for example, and it'll be in every single one of our UIs, you'll see there's a new option button at the top, help assistant. So the user can go there at any point and ask questions relative to anywhere in Cashbook, but most normally it'll be about the screen that you're in. So, for example, in batch entry, someone might say, what is a single reference batch, not knowing what it is, without having to go to F1, without having to wait, get advice. The bot hopefully will answer this. There we go. So the bot will quickly process, help a user on the spot, and hopefully get them being more efficient, more proficient, working faster. And just want to say again that all these questions from this bot within our web screens comes from the help files which the user actually had access to already. The difference being, like Bob's been talking about and Natalie's been talking about, the AI level to these questions. The user previously could have gone into the help, here it is here, our batch entry help, and searched for single reference, and it would have got a definition, and maybe that would have been enough. What AI does is it will search all the information, not just the single one topic in our help for that subject, and it will then generate a really comprehensive answer. As you can see what it's done here, explains what it is, notices the key differences between a single reference and a deposit and how to set it up, and whatever extra notes, and as well as giving you the links to the help files itself where it actually got its information from if the user wants to dig a bit deeper. So here you can see it's gone straight to this. So the help bot will read several subjects around it and generate a much more comprehensive answer. And you'll notice that these will be in all our screens. And we really hope that this makes a big difference. What I'd like to show you now quickly is how we train this and how we are constantly improving on it. We've got a thing called the HelpBot Analytic Dashboard. This tells us, sorry, excuse my getting a bit of a cold. This tells us exactly all the questions, answers, unanswered, and the success rate of the bot. So if you look at this dashboard here, so far since the bot was introduced a few months ago, 2 months ago, we've had 435 questions. And from here we can see what was answered and unanswered. So these stats are a little bit skewed here because I did remove all the unanswered questions 3 weeks ago. And the reason I did that is part of what I want to show you now. I go into this analytical dashboard at least once or twice a week. I can see all the recent questions. I can see the top 10 most asked questions and the top 10 unanswered questions. Those are the most important. So I would go straight to the unanswered questions and I'll read them one for one and try and see why the bot didn't answer it, and then I will feed that answer into the bot. Some of the questions, for example, not really enough for the bot to answer, like control is just not properly installed or etc. But I'll go into the forum. I'll try to find the context about it, because most times the dealer would have gone to the forum and posted a question on there if the bot didn't help them, and we'll feed a big comprehensive answer into the bot. So next time it won't go unanswered. And these unanswered questions over the last 3 months have really been decreasing. So if we look, here's the question I just posted now. It's already put it in the analytics, and it'll show me the answer that it generated. So it's a second step that I follow as I go look at the answers that the bot is generating and just see if that's accurate, because now and then we have noticed it needed a bit of fine tuning and the answer might have been a bit ambiguous, or it might not have been clear enough, so we'll go fix it and sort it out. So I think what to take from here that I'd like to stress is the more questions you give, the more depth you give in your question, the more chance of a more accurate answer, and the more chance of an immediate answer without having to wait for one of the support team to get to your question on the forum, which we try to do as quick as possible, but we want it answered immediately, especially if you're out at the client. You need to answer immediately. And I think that's all I've got to show, Bob, on the bot and on the analytic dashboard.
Yeah, no, that's excellent, man. Excellent. And the whole thing about your bot and about what you've written, it's focused on the cash book. It's focused on the answers we're giving it. So it's not some gibberish or something that might not be right. And I think what you're doing with your technology, with your technical expertise, is making sure the answers are spot on, and you don't have to worry about trying to get more info or whatever. And it just saves so much time, so much time. Excellent work from us. Brilliant. Well, well done, Wayne, and well done, Natalie, so far. Okay, we're still doing development, so it's not just help. We're still a development company and producing development and software, and we've done a really great jobs in the software. I think the next thing now is Karita's going to show. I think we're going to show us just a few enhancements we put into the PU, and well, obviously not many, as one would say, but we will be doing more in the later release, which is 27. But in the meantime, Karita, are you ready to just go through the couple of
Yes,
advice?
thanks.
Yeah. Okay,
Thanks,
cool.
Bob. Yes, so we've you'll see some of the fixes we've done. They were minor fixes. They'll just be in the README when you download the hotfix. But these are some of the things we've added. So in Bank Recon, we've added a comments filter. So you might have put comments for example, all your credit card transactions, and you want to filter only by those. So that's just what this new comments filter will do for you.
Yeah, that's actually a very nice feature, Karita, because you can create your own comment, and then you can use that for this. For example, you might have all your Visa transactions, so you might put the comment there as Visa for all these transactions, and then you could then say to just filter my Bank Recon by all my Visa transactions. Just it's something that is quite nice to add to your selection criteria.
Yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
I'm just trying to slide. There we go.
Yes, this was actually, we always had this feature. What we didn't have the printing of the history, so we've added that.
Yeah, the reason I made you
Bob,
leave the slide in, sorry, the reason I've let you, sorry, I know I'm interrupting you, I don't mean to, but I just thought I'd just fill it in. The reason we left this feature in to tell you about this, we've got clients that have got hundreds of thousands of transactions in their main file, in their transaction header, and that can slow down importing your Rec Express and a few other places. So they don't want to go to history because they think they're going to lose the information. So I've left the slide in on purpose to tell you that you can clear to history and you'll still be able to search for the transaction easily and quickly, and you won't be losing any information necessarily, because it will speed up your whole cash book in the general environment. And I think it's a good idea to only keep like a year or 2 or 3, up to you to decide. Okay, we are looking at ways in speeding up our transaction file, obviously, for the future, but that's really why I left the slide in. Sorry to interrupt, Rita.
Oh, no, I was going to ask you anyway. Okay. Okay, so the other change we've done is when you're printing EFT advices, because it was an advice, we weren't updating the batch reference with the next check number from the printing. And a few people have asked us that they still want to update the next check number. So we've given this option. So when you print the advice or email the advice, it will be updated in your batch.
So I think I should mention that this screen, it wrongly doesn't show the email advice option. It was meant to be replaced this morning. Sorry, Karita.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. And Karita, I just want to quickly add something as well, if I may. We were always incrementing the batch number, etc., previously, because we didn't differentiate between printing advices or payments, etc., for EFT. And I think in 26 we released a restriction saying if you're printing an EFT advice, then you're not going to print, and that bypassed the updating of the batch number, which we realized was a mistake, and people wanted that, so we've added that back in now. If you're printing an EFT advice, you can click the box there and it will go and update your batch reference with the next check number.
Yes.
So a bit of a fix on our side.
Yeah, because EFT, we don't allow you to print checks. Okay, so that was that. And then what we've done in the web UIs is previously you could just put in your supporting document, but now we've added the path and you can view your document. So it will download it onto your machine where you can view the document. And we just want to point out also that in the bank setup, we allow you to add a supporting document path, because otherwise your documents will be downloaded into your program directory on the server, which will be, you'll be able to view, or all users will be able to view. So if you want those documents to be secure, you will set up a default download path. So that's also new, because previously you couldn't actually view your uploaded documents from the web. You could always do it on premise.
Wonderful.
Okay, so that was just a few fixes we did, and then our main thing we've done, because we've had a few people who've had issues generating their SFTP keys. So Wayne, if you could just explain what you've added here.
Okay, not much to say. Like you said, we did have issues, people struggling, and the main reasons I think were there's several ways to generate keys. There's Windows default ways to do it. There's third-party apps like Putty, and the keys have to be in the exact same format that the bank requires. And so to make it easier for the client and for the dealer, we've just added this little screen in our Cashbook bank accounts for Rec Express, and also in the setup EFT Express banks, where if you choose a location or mode where a key file is required, it'll show the button generate keys, and all you need to do there is choose your key type and put in your password, which is optional. It will create the key in the directory you put in there, and it'll update the fields behind it with the path to the key. You just hit the save button, it's all done. And what's worth mentioning here is the 3 key types you got there: SHA-2, 256, 512, and the very latest, the ED 25519. Those seem to be the default keys, that the minimum level security that the banks are asking for at the moment. So we've just done those 3. And while on it, apparently, and according to AI again, funnily enough, ED 25519 is the most secure algorithm. So banks are starting to move towards that. So hopefully we're a bit future-proof here with covering all the options at the moment. So anyway, just fill in the fields, click generate, all done. That's it.
Make everyone's lives easier.
Oh yes, that's a huge plus, because people do struggle with SFTP still to understand the concepts, and it'll be nice to generate the keys easily. Okay.
Okay.
That's basically that's it.
Yeah, and just to add, this is also obviously available in the WebUIs, and it's available only from 2026 onwards.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so but that's actually fun enough. If you wanted to, you could obviously generate these keys using your demo, and then copy the keys onto your live site, even if you got 25. So it can be done for 26, but you can still use the keys for a different version. Okay.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Cool. Okay. Cool. Is that it?
Just one or two more.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Yes, so this was a new drop-down that we've added to the beneficiary statement description setup in EFT, which is the batch beneficiary reference. So in the EFT tab in batch entry, you can go and enter the beneficiary reference that you want there. And then using this setup, it will export that to your EFT file.
Wonderful.
Okay, so that was that. And Bob, are you going to chat about the future development?
Thank you, Carita. Thank you. Yeah, there's a few extras we've added, and we are going to be adding 1 or 2 improvements on our transaction rules. We want to create a group rule where you will have a bulk payment made. Sorry, I've got my dog here trying to eat your food now, dog. Excuse me, I didn't mean to digress there, guys, but I've got a lot of dogs and they're all hounding me because I work from home. The point is, okay, we wanted to create a rule. We're going to look at creating a group rule where you could have a bulk payment, and it will then automatically group it with the transactions from the bank. and we're still working on that for the future release, which will be nice. So you could group a whole bunch of rules together. And we're also looking at other enhancements for the rules, which we obviously haven't finalized yet, but we will be adding more features to our rules. Another feature we're looking at adding is you can enter the invoice number to search for, and you don't have to put in the customer number. So it will then look through AR or AP and look for an invoice number. Okay, it's probably going to only be for AP because you remember the invoice number's got to be unique. And AR not necessarily unique because it might be done by customer and they might have similar invoice numbers. Okay, that's a feature I haven't put on the screen, but we are looking, what I'm trying to say is we are looking at keep enhancing our rules to make your Rec Express easier to use and more automated. Okay, we also had a problem with the bottom grid when you're doing a recon in Rec Express was very slow. We've obviously we were limited to the number of keys that Sage 300 can use. So we found 2 or 3 keys that aren't being used, and we're going to put them into the bottom grid, and then the actual search below will be instantaneous. At the moment, it's actually very cumbersome, and maybe I don't even know if it's manageable at the moment. So we're going to increase that as well. That's for future development. We might be adding 1 or 2 more features as we go along, because the reason we're doing it for 27 is because these will involve database changes and new fields and new tables, and which is only can done on a major version change, major version release. We don't do it for smaller versions like PUs and that. Okay, any other feature development? We are going to look at the enhancement forum and see what else we can add. But I think our major feature here is to get you guys up to scratch with what's already there. I had a question from one of my old dealers again, from Brian, I'm using you as an example, where he was saying to me, I want to be able to retrieve transactions, etc. And be able, sorry, just give me a second, yeah, guys. This is not that simple. Okay. Hold on a second. I just want to let the dog out. I know this is terrible when you're doing a webinar, but we're not sitting in the middle of an office. So I've got that. Okay, so just very quickly, we are looking at enhancing all the way that we do the bank recon at the moment. He said to me, how do we import with all the bank statements at once from say 20 different banks? And I think you want to have a look at that again and see how we work with an import, how we work with the SFTP and that import, and how we work with the bank feeds, and combining all 3 of those over the different banks, how you can then bring in all your transactions, okay, into your banks without having to actually import them physically yourself. So that's where we're at, and I think we can improve on that with demos and ideas and enhancements, etc. And I think that's really, we've come to the end of our slides, our PPTs. Am I right, Natalie?
Yes, I
Okay,
don't know. I know
no,
that you
that's it.
mentioned the fingerprint. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, I
No, I
think
didn't.
it's important to highlight
So you
the
can tell more.
fingerprint change, which is going to come out in the next hotfix for versions 26, 25, and 24. And it's worth highlighting because as soon as the clients install the hotfix and they run, it's only going to be relevant to 6 main programs: batch entry, batch list, post form, range form, bank reconciliation, Rec Express, and Rec Express automation. As soon as they've got the latest hotfix and they run one of those programs, they are going to get a message saying that this license is not valid for this host or IP address. And it tells them that they need to go rerun their obtain licenses from the license manager, and then that will fix it. But it might be something that everyone needs to be aware of. But it's going to be a bit of an interruption once off.
Correct. And then what it does, it takes a fingerprint of their server, and then it's specific to that server, which is the whole idea. Okay. And it will get rid of all these, anybody who's trying to use AI to override our licenses and make it more secure for us and secure for the client. Yeah. I think just to close off, and I will emphasize this at the end of our webinar, and I did want to emphasize at the beginning and at the end, we have a very strong user base. We have a very strong client base. We've already got to 95, 98% of satisfaction from our clients. This with AI, we can almost take them to 100%. So, we don't want to start fiddling with what's already working. And I think you guys that have done this for us, which is the dealers that have joined this session, without you, we wouldn't have this user base and this solid knowledge. And without your knowledge, without AI, forget about AI, you wouldn't be able to install so easily and have to relearn a whole new system, which is not necessarily what you want to do. And I must thank you all for that. I must thank you all for your support and your dedication to the 300 product and to Peresoft's Cashbook, because without you, we wouldn't have 3,000 to 4,000 successful installations and still current. And that brings us to the end of our webinar. And one more thing I'd like to say, thank you to my team. You guys have done an amazing job and to lift us into the new world, into the new AI world. And I really am absolutely blown away by everything that's been happening around me. And I've tried becoming a professional golfer. It didn't work. So I'm glad to be back in what I know, in my comfort zone. And without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. So on that note, I think, do you have any questions, any comments, anything that you want to mention about AI, anything you want to mention about Sage 300 Marketplace that makes you happy, unhappy? Because I think we as Peresoft are focused only on 300, only on this particular versions, and we are quite happy to help you enhance, try and improve. If you want something with Sage 300, we can always approach JT for you and see if we can add that to their features, like we did with serialized inventory and a few other things we pushed JT to do, because we have a very close relationship with them, and create a marketplace that will give us a great future. I think we are getting ahead and we are in a very stable environment. Thank you very much. Any questions, please? If there are no questions, yes, go for it.
Belinda's asking a question, but I think, Belinda, best is to post this question to the forum. And then our support team will be able to assist you. She's saying this is an existing client. They renew software assurance. Normally message will flash on the screen at client office to inform expiring, and client just need to click on the screen. So I think it would be best to post to our forum, and then we'll be able to assist you, Belinda.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think that's definitely a forum question, because we'd like to put that into our bot as well. Cool. Anything else?
No, that is all.
Well, it's amazing we don't get questions. I was doing a session at okay, how
here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, how will the new licensing model work for clients with multiple servers?
Well, this is what we actually want to look at. Well, we can increase the number of servers if you tell us you want to run the licensing program on 2 or 3 different servers, because and you don't think that you're breaking the license agreement. Then we're quite happy to, you can send us some email and we can increase the activation count for you. Okay, we'll probably get you to sign a document saying that it's for the same company and not, you're not trying to copy it across different servers and they are different environments. I think you have to do that individually with us, and we'll then talk to you and discuss it, and we can then increase the activation count to give you the ability to put it onto different servers. This is a very quick procedure and might require just a 5-minute email. Okay, so please contact us individually for that, and we will be able to sort it out for you, no problem. Okay.
Right, thank you, Jean. He says thank you.
Pleasure, Jean. All right. Okay, is that it? Just by the way, the forum's open, and really we want questions. So if you have this kind of question and you want to talk to us, but you don't want to mention the client, then you can email Samantha directly, and we will then quite happily deal with the client and yourselves and make sure we make you happy. We don't want you to walk away in that state of mind that is not happy. If you know what I mean. That's been our target for years. Great. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. It was really great to see who's on the session. It's a lot of memories, a lot of good people, a lot of years of behind us. Very nice to see everyone. Really enjoy working with all of you and enjoy the vibe we have together. And thank you very much for coming today. It was a pleasure to do it with you.
Right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Looking good.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye, Bobby.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
all.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Lily Auntie. Brilliant.
Cool. See you guys.
Yeah,
in the morning.
Night.
Yeah.
Cheers. Bye.